What, no song? There it is.
I'll find like a regular song. This is probably just gonna be in the bloopers again.
I get with the bloops with you. You know, sooner or later you're gonna like put like all the communication. Victor here, 99. News intro music. All that.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, talk of every video before the actual thing.
Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to another videos, and this time, and this official, we are officially calling it V News.
Yep, V News.
Not
So
Z News, but V, like in V.
Yeah. So, on this episode of V News, we are talking about the new set coming out in approximately 2 weeks. Hopefully we get the video. But it's about set 14, yeah, 14. Brilliant or Brilliant Strike?
It's just Brilliant Strike.
Brilliant Strike? Alright. Well, this set really puts more spin onto the current game meta.
Yep.
We see new, more unique effects with reverse tunes, except for one. And then we also see more like counteractions towards like Joker.
Yep. Everybody does not like the link trigger, so Bushiro is just answering that call saying like, okay, here's some cards that counters it for you, for your clan.
Yeah. So probably first thing we're just going to talk about what gets support, and then probably what's going to be in value from the set, and then we'll probably top it all off with the sneak peek coming through. Probably which one's the best to play in the tournament, and then because if you don't pay attention to the Bushido news and all that. There are some other things. We're not trying to promote Bushido, we're just informing people.
We're just informing people.
So we'll talk more about the sneak peek features and all that stuff.
Sneak peek?
Sneak peeks a little bit later. But probably first off is what gets support, what's pretty good support-wise for doubles and triple Rs. And from there, yeah, we'll start off.
But can I say this one thing before we get started?
Yeah. What?
The V News really does sound like we're saying the news, aren't we?
V News.
It really does sound like we're saying the news right now.
Yeah, like V News.
Yeah, V News, V News. Hey, have you seen the V News? The news? No, V News.
Alright. But yeah, so
let's start off with the clans that are getting supported. So the clans that are getting supported are the Gold Palace Royal Paladins.
Yep.
The Kaigos, Genesis, Narakamis, Neonecros, and Murokumos. Murokumos are getting more support.
Yeah, kind of breaks the support format for Murokumos, because usually for a while Murokumos has been like support towards like later sets, like the very last set before the new arc sets come out. Kind of the same thing with Neonecros. It kind of broke off the chain, like second arc set, but it's still pretty good. So let's talk about probably first off is the clans that are getting the support for this format, Neonectors and Murokumos. So Neonectors are getting their break right, which is crap, I forgot what it was called.
The Neonector break right is the Lord of the Deep Forest Master of Wisteria, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys, where we're getting all this information from is again from our first video that we did is from the Vanguard wiki itself.
Yeah, and then when it hits up the site, you can also go down to the official Bushido site. So what this break ride does is like your typical break ride, you ride on top of it, and then I think you select one great nature.
Choose up to two of your Neonectors,
and then you call two more copies of
so for up to one card with the same name.
Yeah, from like the two copies that you select.
Yes.
So it really works well with Sephiroth. Really old Neonector card back in the day.
Yeah, this guy said that Sephiroth is being put into a Neonector, but Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII, come on, people, it's Sephiroth! Wow. Sorry, that's me off. I'm sorry, Final Fantasy fan right here.
Perfect. Go.
Yes.
But it definitely gives Sephiroth a little bit more play, because Sephiroth's limit break, if you guys don't remember it anymore, it's a limit break for every card with the same name gains plus 3,000. Even the break ride itself, I think it also selects the Vanguard as well.
Yeah.
So you can select your Vanguard and then another unit, and then you get clones of it out from your deck, and it gains more power.
No. It just says up to 2 of your unit just rear guards. Nothing says Vanguards.
Oh man, if it was Vanguard, then Sephiroth would be even more broken.
Yes, but sadly it's just as rear guard. So
yeah, but you can always call like more like your Sephiroth rear guard and stuff like that.
And that still works?
Yeah, if it works, it works. But once again, Neodex is also getting the reverse card. We'll probably talk more about it like later when we're talking about more of the reverses. But besides from that, they're also getting more support from Musketeers. That's always good.
Musketeers.
Musketeers.
The sub-clan.
Super consistent. Super consistency.
Yeah.
Super consistent. Pretty good.
And but other than that, all in all, for the comments, they're getting 2 new triggers for them.
And then they're also getting the Maiden archetype. It's kind of been hinted like for like drops of sets here and there. There's Maiden Trailing Rose, Maiden Cherry Blossoms, and all that stuff. But now they are like legitimately a concrete archetype called Maiden from the Elector.
Yep.
So Josh can take it from here for Murakuma.
Okay, so for Murakumo's, sorry people, I don't remember all. I'm not very good at remembering things names. So.
Yeah, so I'll probably be referencing more of it, but this is him talking because I've been I looked at the spoilers already from the Japanese meta. We are talking about the English meta only.
Yeah.
If we do jump into the Japanese meta, we'll probably make a separate video for it.
And that's pretty much gonna be him because he pretty much knows a lot of Japanese. I'm pretty much just looking American just for you guys because I do all the I've pretty much been doing videos of all the Vanguard battles and all that, so I'm staying with the English lineup.
But if you want to know more Japanese meta and then how different it is from the US,
just leave.
We do not have Japanese cards, so we can't do Japanese games.
Yeah.
But if you want to see us talk like how different it is the Japanese to the English meta, yeah, write comments below. And then we'll try to make a video if you really want to.
Yes. Okay, so back with the Nurakumos. Okay, for Nurakumos, they have 2 pretty much ace. One of them is a reverse, and one of them seems to be a normal one.
Yeah, it's your break right. It's a Kagura Blue.
No, it's a Convert Dragon. Oh yeah, it's Kagura Bloom.
Yeah, it's Kagura Blue. It's Convert Dragon Kagura Blue.
And what he does is, hold on. The research is fighting back at us viewers. Okay, so pretty much what he does is like a typical break ride. You ride over a grade 3 over him, that Vanguard gets plus 10,000. But you'll also counterblast 1, and you can just search your deck for up to 2 cards with the same name as that unit, and then call them to separate rearguard circles. So pretty much it's like typical what Murakuma does. They call out the same copies of themselves, and then at the end of the turn they go back into deck, looks like?
No, I think they go back to...
Yeah, it shuffles back to your deck.
Is it? I thought it was back to hand.
No, call them to separate rearguard circles. Shuffle your deck at the end of the turn. Return it. It's called... Okay, so it goes back to your hand, actually.
Okay. What this break ride really synergizes with both aspects of Murakuma. It really synergizes with even like very old Mandala Lord.
Yeah.
Because you do need multiple copies of him, and then really synergizes well with Shiryuki. Because you really do need those multiple copies now. And then they also have their new reverse ace. Probably talk more about later, but it really synergizes with him because you don't have to use your new reverse ace's ability. And then
so then, if you guys are wondering what the reverse is, it's pretty much the reverse of the last set.
No, because there was no
setup.
If you look at the lore of him, it's a very, very unique idea. But we'll talk about it more because the reverses in this set, there's like weird things with it half the time, but there's not. But probably apart from that, let's talk about.
So we'll talk about reverses later, viewers. But we'll talk. Yeah. So don't worry about it. So we'll get back to reverses, but we'll talk. Let's go to Gold Paladins.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. So Gold Paladins are getting really big support with Gantelon seeing it, and the new Nation Savior Grand Azel Scissors.
Salvation Lion, Grand Azel Scissors.
Okay, I got it right. Pass me my soda.
And yes, viewers, we want to get through before we start recording.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
That's right.
It's still a Coca-Cola product. But yeah, it's definitely it's your easel scissor. I'm like half the time trying to say scissor hands, but scissors hands, scissor hands. Yeah, scissors hands. No, have you seen the movie Edward Scissorhands?
No.
Oh damn. So what easel scissors does is it's kind of blasted, soul blasted, and then you get to unlock all your units. You unlock all your unlocked units, if can if possible, and then if there's a total of 5 unlocked, it gains plus 10,000 effect. And then it also has a radio effect with plus 1,000 for each gold paladin. It's a very big breakthrough because it's basically the anti-Link Joker answer. Like the definite anti-Link Joker answer. There has been decks in the Japanese that kind of used them for a bit, and it was pretty interesting how they took it.
Again, we're not gonna go into Japanese.
Probably not going to go into giant detail, but if you are playing Gold Paladins and you really hate Link Jokers to like a burning passion, then you can either pick up Scissors or Zenith. Zenith does is your Gans off with Break Ride, Cross Break Ride. That's what you say for the action. It's just regular Cross Ride for Zenith. What he does is on attack, you counter blast 1 liberated, and then you return a grade 2 or higher Gold Paladin to the bottom, and then you top check for a unit. If it's a Gold Paladin, you call out the field, and that unit gains plus 10,000. It's really good when Link Jokers start picking on your boosters a bit, and then when you have that when you go to that opportunity when you don't have any boosters, Tigers in front, and then you move your Barons to the front or your 7Ks to the front, it adds that more powerful synergy into it. And then if you do run stands, it gives the possibility of your booster standing up again and hitting for even higher numbers,
which is scary.
Yeah. So and then I think that's the good highlights of Gold Paladins. And then we'll talk a little bit more about more hidden things later on, but we're just covering like the basics because the set's not even out yet. The sneak peek's coming out this week for most states, and then the set comes out next week on June 18th. Yeah, June 18th.
Yeah.
So I think next we should talk about Kagros. I think probably that.
Okay, so Kagros are also getting a boost from this. So aside from that, the Kagros are getting a full rainbow set of triggers again.
Yeah.
Other than that, their grade 3 lineup seems like they're only getting like 1 new 8, which is a reverse card, and and in my case, we're all just gonna make it easy for us just to put all the reverse together, so that way you guys can know which reverse you guys want and all that.
Yeah.
But for some of the people who has been watching the anime, the Carpet Vanguard anime on the 2nd season, you guys should probably know it's in the 2nd season, right?
It's 3rd season.
Third
season. Because 2nd season's regular limit break.
Oh, limit break. Okay, so first one. Okay, 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, not 2nd. The third season. You guys should all know what the Kagros new reverse.
If you follow the Japanese anime, that was just passing. If you follow the Japanese anime, you will catch up pretty quickly. I think for the English, it's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while, but it's getting to that point.
If I remember correctly,
I think the last time it stopped was when Kote was reversed. I don't know if the Daikaiser guy.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell
because it's I think it got to that point. I remember it got to that point. I don't know if they got past him when they tried to unreverse it. But besides from that,
yeah. But for Kagero, there's not a lot of things except for a bunch of like new comments and rares for it. I think there's some double rares for it. I think.
Yeah, I think they're just most of the stuff Kagero released. It's more support towards the reverse unit.
Yeah.
And they just got previous support from their extra booster. So it's not going to be too heavy
on them, but at least they're going to try to give them the reverse that they need. So Kagros, they only have 1 grade 3 ace for them, and it's a reverse one, so we'll talk about the reverse. So not a lot to talk about the Kagos other than that they get new triggers, new trigger lineup. But so till we talk about the reverse, why don't we talk about Genesis?
Alright, so Genesis is getting their restandard, the awesome, amazing goddess regalia of obstinance. Yeah, as soon as I can never figure out how to say it. Obstinance,
Omniscience,
regalia. Minerva, drawn by the awesomely amazing Tony Taka.
You know that's
Tony Taka.
You know that's kind of hard to say in the very beginning.
No, it's just the beginning, because it's
Omniscience. How do you?
in the Japanese, it's the all-knowing.
Yeah.
Regalia Minerva. It's really hard to translate from Japanese to English.
Yeah.
It's
But that's good.
it's very even in Japan, the artwork was because the artwork was like super famous and the effect wasn't like super mediocre. It got like a lot of money into it. So what the effect does is you can after you attack, you can blast 1, you discard 3, you soul blast 3, and then it stands itself up with a 5,000 plus. So
Dang.
yeah. So it's really, out of all of restanding vanguards in this arc series, Minerva sounds like the most beneficial one because it requires less input and you gain more from it. And then besides from that, there's also Yagarasu, which is when it attacks, you choose 2 units. I don't know if you stand them or not, but those 2 units gain plus 5,000, and that's right.
All on victory here, Nana. Let me answer that question if it stands itself again.
Yeah.
Does something like God as a Okay, that looks like CEO Amaterasu. I'm sorry, but viewers, if you look at the wiki, if you look at the manga wiki, you look at the picture, you will obviously agree with me that looks like so what was the crossroad CEO Amaterasu look like?
Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu.
Yeah, actually, okay, so some as a god is god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
so,
there's a stand door.
Okay, that's a lot of Soul Blast.
It's Soul Blast 9, which is a lot, but if you have the right cards with it, that costs you can reach for it. It really actually synergizes really well with the very first break reference is Himika, in my opinion. But I think it doesn't stand the units.
Okay, so it only stands 2 units.
Yeah, it stands 2 units.
Not itself.
Not itself, but it stands 2 units, which is still really good.
So that's still like 5 attacks total in 1 turn.
Yeah, but it's still really good. And then there's more support towards the Regalia archetype. And then there's also the new witches, the Valencian Grappa, which is basically when they get Soul Blast, you Soul Blast 2, which is pretty nice. More Minerva placement. But besides from that, the biggest thing is probably just Minerva.
Don't forget that they're getting in. Don't forget about the new card that they're gonna get.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna mention all the new stuff with like the reverses.
Oh, really? We're just gonna put that together?
Yeah, because they're basically it's a new concept.
Okay.
So probably that.
Well, reverse we already talked about last episode. Why don't we talk about it now?
No, we're going to put like a section for like reverses and then a section with the new stuff, like the new mechanics.
Wait, is this a blooper or something?
If you want it to be.
I don't know. I feel like this is just a normal talk right now.
Yeah, that's probably much it. We might kick this off. So whatchamacallit? Right, so I also forgot to mention that Neonectar also get a new perfect art, which is a musketeer. So that's pretty good. You get to cycle back your perfect cards. Musketeers are pretty strong now. They're getting strong. They're getting stronger. So probably next up is Josh's personal favorite, Naruto.
Alright, so Naruto's have actually a new break ride and a new grade 3 ace. The new break ride for the Narukami is called the Sanctuary. No, that's not robots. Whoops! The Eradicator Ignition Dragon. So what Ignition Dragon is pretty much is every typical break ride gives a plus 10,000 to the Vanguard. But when you break ride it, your opponent chooses 2 rear guards to retire. A very good combo with Gauntlet Buster Dragon, which his effect is every unit that gets retired by effect, he gets a plus 3,000 and a crit. So 2 units that can retire right off the bat. He gets a plus 6,000 and 2 crits right off the bat. And yes, they do stack.
Yeah, but once again, it's not for free. It's also, I think it's for counterblast.
I think it is for a counterblast.
Yeah, but it's still really synergized with Gauntlet Buster. I say a level or better than Valid Sword Gun. And then there are also their new starter, which is Eradicator Tempest Bolt Dragon. I don't know if there's more into his name. But
so what Tempest Bolt Dragon it pretty much do is pretty much like I like to say it's like semi-counter to Link Jokers, because what he does is on the Vanguard Circle, counterblast 3 Eradicators in your damage zone, and you just nuke the field. You destroy everything on the player's rearguard circle. And his other passive effect on your turn is he gets plus 2,000 for every player's NG rearguard circle. So if you're doing a 1v1 and you activate this effect, that's an automatic 20k boost on that Vanguard by himself. So that's a really good boost. So if you're against like a Link Joker and all that, it is a very good thing, because like they lock your units. So pretty much, if you nuke your field, you pretty much got rid of the 2 rear guards that aren't locked, but you still keep the 3 that are locked. So pretty much, that's a good way to save. That's a good way to keep your favorite rear guards, but nuke your opponent's field at the same time. So it's really good, and I really am interested in it. But right now, I'm more interested in the new break ride for the combination with the Gauntlet Buster Dragon. So instead of being able to retire 4 units this time, I can retire 5 if I do it right.
Yeah, that's and then probably we're gonna head up.
Yeah.
Royal Paladins now. So Royal Paladins.
No, we already talked about Paladins.
No, we talked about Gold Paladins. We talked about Gold Paladins.
Yeah, I thought we talked about Royal Paladins.
Yeah, it's Royal Paladins. Yeah. So, because he did Genesis, so I was planning to do those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Probably. So, Royal Paladins, they also get more support towards their Jewel Knights as hint one of the Jewel Knights in the
He's maybe comic up with the Japanese Season 3 series.
But they do have a new ride chain, which is Sanctuary of Light. Basically, what the ride chain does is when you get the ride chain off successfully, you can call basically another Sanctuary of Light unit out onto the field. Really powerful, because the Grade 3, what it does is an armed ride, Camelot Seal, you call another Sanctuary of Light. It's pretty generic now, in most of the series ride chains. But its movement break ability is when it attacks, all units with Sanctuary of Light in its name gain plus 3,000. So it really makes the ride chain a lot more sufficient, because it gives everything more power. It's like Zachria, look. But this one, because when you do ride chains, you gain more field. And that's actually what the Royal Paladin style would go for. We'll talk more about all the reverses coming soon.
Aren't we going to be talking about it now?
No, because I think it's about time to release that new mechanic. They're going to come out soon.
The new mechanic, huh?
So, their new mechanic coming out this soon is the function with their sentinels. There's also the perfect guard, which is you call to the field, you discard 1 card in your hand, and then you attack towards that unit to nullify.
There's a new one now. Pretty much what this one is, it's only a few clans right now, but in the future they will make more clans. But what it does is, it's similar with the same grade, with the same block for Cell Sentinels at 0. When you put it on the field, you counterblast 1, and you take the top 5 of your deck and put it onto the Guardian Circle. And then what enemies call it, they call it the Quintet Wall.
Yeah, so basically, at the highest it can be up to 50,000.
And the lowest it can be is 0.
It's 0, but that's only when you get
all great grades.
Which is very rarely happens.
I think that's mostly impossible.
Yeah, I see that really hard unless your deck really focuses on grade 3s. But the minimum Guardian protection you get is about 25, which is about a standard amount you would kind of need to guard against a break. Yeah. But they developed this mechanic just because of the break ride. And then probably mainly because everybody's very pissed off about Die Kaiser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you don't know Die Kaiser's effect is a break ride with the dimension piece. And then if you try to break, you just retire units from Guardian Circle and like their effects. It's pretty good. But with Quintet Wall, you get more shields out of it. So you Die Kaiser fans are gonna get decently sad when you see
You know, I kind of wonder. I thought that guys are going to nullify the quintet walls effect.
No, because the quintet wall uses effect on play. So even though you nullify the quintet wall, it doesn't negate the calling effect.
Ah, that's the reason why it's a good thing to go against.
And then there's also, when you call it like another perfect guard, you can also use that perfect guard's effect as well.
Oh, that's actually helpful.
Yeah, when you don't have enough shield, if you do have that one perfect guard, you can actually activate it. Or if you get another quintet wall, you can activate it and get more cards.
You get more cards just to block that one attack, really?
It can work with certain decks, but for now, it's not really high. So the current plans that get this support is Gold Paladins, Murakuma, and Genesis.
Only those 3 cards so far, but later on in the sets in the future, there will be more.
Yeah, because I think the clan that I say best synergizes is probably Genesis.
Yeah, I know, because if I remember correctly, one of the Genesis Ace 3 cards, what was her name? Was it Minerva or Yatagarasu?
Yatagarasu.
Isn't it effect says that whenever a card is put into Guardian Circle, it's going to drop when it goes to the soul?
Yeah, it's Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu has that unique effect where whenever a unit from the Guardian Circle enters the grid, it goes into the soul state. There's also the clone which is called Witch of Apple Cider, which is Regalia support, even though it's a witch. Which is when it's called the Guardian Circle from your hand, your Vanguard needs the ability. Whenever a card from the Guardian Circle goes drop to the moving soul. So when you do quintet wall with your Genesis, you better hope it's a Regalia Genesis, and you get more witch attacks because you're plus 6 cards. That is a lot.
That's way too much.
So, quick please. So, right now we're probably just going to hit up the reverse units. So, the reverse units today are Venus of Trap Reavers. Beta of the Venus Trap Reavers.
Convert Dragon Hayaki Bow Reavers.
Broken Heart Jewel Knight Ashley Reavers.
Dauntless Dragon Reavers.
So, even in this set, the reverses are really strong, and
some of them are really scary too.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Venus, which is the lower one.
Yes.
But it's still as powerful. So basically what she does is, you counterblast one, you lock the unit, you check the top 5 for Neonectar, you call one and it gains plus 5,000. It's very similar to Lukier's Reavers effect, which is you lock it, you lock your counterblast it, and you call it for the soul and plus 5,000. The problem is with this reverse unit is from the top down. So if you do get triggers, all 5 triggers, you don't have to call one out, but that's just kind of like wasting the field. While Pale Moon has you have your options to select. So that's the weakening pros of that card. And then we'll probably talk more about hints and tips you want to know for the sneak peek later on. So we'll hit up with Convert Dragon Hyakvoy Reavers. Hyakvoy Reavers.
So pretty much what he is you choose 2 of your Murokomos and reverse it like the other ones in the last set. Lock 2 of your own units. And pretty much what he does is he calls 2 of the same copies of himself into the rearguard circles.
No, it's you can't blast 2.
Oh, choose up to 3 actually. You choose up to 3 Murokomos of himself.
Yeah, and then they gain plus
5,000. So the con of it is that you have 3. Is it all 3 of them? I guess it?
Yeah, all 3, including your Vanguard.
Okay.
So the pro of it is your front row attackers are hitting for 21
each.
And when you do break ride, it gives you your Vanguard 31k as a strong thing. And then I'll mention more like tips. I don't know, because I'll mention like a little bit of the Japanese meta here and there. But the Japanese meta, they also gained the Unlock campaign, which is basically, it has like minor cards that uses like the same thing as scissors. So Murokomo got one when they unlocked. So back in Japanese meta, you have like one empty reguard space. So you lock 2, your hot always gain 10,000. And then you play the unlock unit, which unlocks 1 more. And then you get to do it again. And then gains another 10,000. So your rear guards are hitting for 31 in your Vanguard, or either 31 or 41 so you do big numbers, really works with stand triggers.
And very hard to guard.
Very hard to guard.
It off.
It's like spike brothers. If you get that ideal setup, you hit hard.
The next reverse is the roll power reverse, am I correct?
Yeah, so Broken Heart Jewel Knight Ashley reverse. What she does is you counterblast 1, you lock a Jewel Knight unit, and then you retire a unit in your opponent's front row, and then you call another Jewel Knight out for you back. So once again, this adds a lot of synergy to the Jewel Knight. What they really do need. They really need something to really synergize how to play with Jewel Knights. Because I found with Jewel Knights was they were a little bit weak. Because Salome was a good answer. Miranda or Julie, either one of those names, were also good answers. But the problem was they were like 10k base. This gives you 11k base besides regular Ashley. And then Ashley revert. Even the break riding into it gives a lot more pressure. Probably we'll mention more tips and all that later in this video, or the next video we make if we do like a post-set talk about, and then what we just do now is just pre-talk.
It's pretty much talk, but right now in the next episode when the set does come out and we already built a deck and edited our deck and we posted a battle and we do a video of a battle with a new set. You're probably with the next time we do this talk with this V News. The next time we do that, we're probably might talk about that battle and talk about how that worked and some of the displays and all that.
Because we're going to probably do a post talk set, and then probably I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a post talk set and then a pre-set talk.
Yes, and probably hopefully if we do that, we'll have another person with us.
Yeah, hopefully
doing this news with us, and hopefully they will like cooperate and not like make this too much as we wanted it to be.
Yeah, but definitely it's Ashley Reverse really adds a lot more synergy to Jewel Knights. Yeah, and then a little bit to powers. And then let's talk about the Dauntless Dominant Dragon. Dauntless Dominant Dragon.
Well, you're right. You were right the first time.
I was right the first time.
Dauntless Dominant Dragon reverse. You were right the first time.
It's DDDR, not DDR. Because DDR is Dauntless Drive Dragon.
Well then, thank you for referencing DDR to Dance Dance Revolution a little bit. So, pretty much what he is he's the cross-drive version of the original Dauntless Drive Dragon. That's the reason. That's where you got the drive from.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right. Hopefully. So pretty much what it is he counterblast 1, you log 1, I believe you log 1 of your own Kagero rear guards.
Yes.
And what he gets is an auto. With this unit drive check reveals a grade 1 or greater Kagero, choose up to one of your opponent's grade 1 in the rear guard and retire it.
Yeah.
So really gets rid of the
I think it's grade 1 or lower.
No, it's greater. It says greater.
Wait, does it say greater? I think it's lower.
No, it says grade 1 or greater.
Let me check that real quick.
Everybody, see, here's my iPad again.
iPad. Sprinkle! Grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it.
Oh, I thought you meant the drive check.
No, the drive check is grade 1 or higher. Retiring effect is grade 1 or lower.
You just said more specific. You said it was grade 1 or lower. I was like, what are you?
I was trying
you
to
just said grade 1 or lower.
I was trying to match. I was trying to match like the context.
All I said was a grade 1, the drive check. You should have referenced the retiring units.
Yeah, I guess I should. Oh, minus.
This misplay right here, people. This misplay.
Problems. But once again, it adds a lot more threat into cover.
Oh, and plus he gets a plus 3,000 if he does that too.
So basically, if you remember the old days, Goku, which is basically drive to the grade 3 retire unit. It's basically him, but with an additional power boost.
So the pro of this is you're getting rid of the boosters on your opponent's field, but
you do gain numbers, so it does funk up your opponent because you're guaranteed at least 1 trigger power.
Yes.
So your opponent has to play. Do I need this much for that, or do I need this much for it? It's very iffy plays. It's like how people played against CL Amaterasu.
Yes.
Because when you do drive check, it does gain the power of plus 4,000. As it's expect. yeah, we'll probably do a giant overview on how these reverse sets are a lot more stronger compared to the old ones.
Yes.
But yeah, besides from that, I think we got through all the reverses.
So yeah, so pretty much now we could talk about how the reverses are better than the last one.
Yeah.
So in my case, what I have to say is some of the reverses, some of the ones that only requires like one lock unit, is a lot more better than the old ones because the old one requires 2 lock units instead of 1. So I gotta say, with the 1 lock unit, you have more chance of boosting up more of your rear guard to attack with more high damager than just having to lock 2 and only have 1 column with 1 booster.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that you can only use Ashley and Dauntless's effect once per turn. So,
thank God for that.
So really, it's because the locking mechanism, the reverses locking benefits are a lot more better than it would be from the older ones. Eradicator's Vowing Sword Dragon Reverse, even though you lock 2, your opponent retires 2, and it claims 10k, it sounds like a good benefit.
Yeah.
But because Chaos Breaker Dragon came into existence, you are losing a lot more field. So, like the locking 2, it's not really well played because you're fighting against Chaos Breaker Dragon, and they will get as much benefits. However, with Hyakuboy, even though he locks 2, when you play it right, sure, your opponent would draw 3 if the card ever comes out in the US, but you're swinging for like 31, 41 Ks, and that requires a lot of cards in hand regardless. So probably by the end of that, you're probably going to end up probably with very minimal hand, even like with like a little board left over, because you have to guard for those big hits.
Unless you have a Sentinel.
Unless you have a Sentinel. Well, you kind of need like 3 Sentinels at that point.
In a row, yeah.
In a row. But besides from that, it's basically the reverses. They do gain a lot more benefits from it when you're locking a unit than they were like the old ones. That's why I said Lukier back in the day. Her locking one was actually probably the most beneficial one, because you do gain more units out from it. But besides from that, I think most of the good reverses are probably from the set. Yeah. And I think that's the end of the reverse units.
So pretty much all we could do is talk about how some of the cards that should be good to see in sneak peeks.
Alright, so in the sneak peek, you do get a mat for it, which is nice Minerva mat. It's beautiful. I saw the picture for it. It's beautiful. And then there's also when you buy but in every card in Vanguard, you do get a rubber playmat of Angel Scissors. So there you go.
So there's a way to
all this information that we're saying at the end is actually official from Bushiroad. You can check it out on their site below to see it and all that. But probably the best cards to play if you want to do a sneak peek is probably Minerva. Anything with a generic, probably with Minerva. Because Hyakuboy, when you get into a sneak, you need multiple copies, and it's very hard to actually pull them off.
Yeah.
Because you do have a limited amount. I think the best one is probably Minerva. If you do pull it out like in middle, if you pull it out at the start, my personal recommendation is Gaslight Zenith, because you get to call a unit and gain plus 10k.
But in my case, if you guys are just doing the sneak peek just because you just want the cards out of it, then just go with whatever like you want. If you don't care about winning the mat or anything, even though it's like a Minerva mat, very pretty too. And for me, if I was doing it, I'd be like, hell yeah, I am gonna go all the way. I would try my best. But if you guys just want to get the cards in the sneak peek and all that in the set, then just go for whatever cards you pulled out. But for like specific people who play specific clans, then some of the clans that we just said throughout the whole video would be very good cards to pull out from the sneak peek.
Yeah, I think the cards that are worth the most would be Zenith, Ashley Reverse, and Minerva. Because Minerva is well drawn and has a really good effect.
Yeah.
So I think she would be almost the same price as a Dote or a Chaos Breaker Dragon. Because yeah, that art.
So other than all that, so when the sneak peek happens for you all, good luck, and we me Victor here 99 and me Ultima 1125 will be praying that you guys pull the cards that you guys want, or at least could be able to trade the cards that you want for the clans that you want.
I'm planning to buy at least one box. I don't know.
To buy at least one box too. If I could buy 2 boxes, I'll make sure I posted them on YouTube of the unboxing.
Right. Spoiled brat. Just kidding. You're fine. But
hey, I have a job.
But yeah, it's definitely. We will do a video about like when we do actual decks.
Yes.
How the new set really does change it up. Probably expect a post video review of the set later sometime.
Probably.
Hopefully it will come up. But this has been Victory Hero 999.
And this is also 1125. We'll see you on the next sneak peek. See you next time on V News.
V News.
That's how we ended.